Hey, what's up you beautiful feckers? How you all doing? Good, I hope. Hopefully. Now, Eidolon hunting in Warframe isn't for everyone. That's been pretty well established. They've also been around for quite a while and are not really hard to capture or kill. I mean, there's plenty of videos of YouTube of guys min-maxing and wiping them out in mere minutes. Some players love hunting and going through that whole min-max phase like crazy, whereas other players simply don't and ignore that aspect of Warframe completely. I'm kind of somewhere in between. I enjoy them, but I'm not going to go out of the way to min-max like crazy to wipe them out. Now, if you're not into hunting Eidolon, then that's fine. This video might not be for you. And if you are looking to get into and start farming arcanes for platinum, then hopefully this will help you out a little bit and make it a little bit easier to take down their shields and kill them or capture them. Because truth be told, there is quite a significant amount of platinum to be made from these arcanes if you're willing to put the work in. Now, with Fortuna 2, we got new amp parts of Little Duck. New parts, of course, means new combinations and a possible upgrade to the so-called go-to amp that all of these min-maxers were using to try cap multiple times in a night cycle. Now, the old go-to amp setup was 223 or X23, with the X depicting whichever prism you preferred for your amp. So basically your prism of choice combined with the tier 2 scaffold and the tier 3 brace. 3 brace kind of sounds like I've just wrapped something around some shrubbery, right? Now the go-to amp has changed, with a lot of players now opting to use the X27 instead because it is an upgrade and deals more damage than the X23. Now a quick disclaimer would be, if you build any amps from Fortuna, guild them in Cetus and not in Fortuna, because apparently gilding them in Fortuna doesn't give you the full stats and it's bugged at the minute, so hopefully that will get fixed if it hasn't been already at the time of me making this video. Now the X27 amp is basically made up again of any prism you prefer. That's what the X means. The tier 2 scaffold, which is the Shraksun scaffold from Cetus, and of course the Certus brace, which is the tier 7 brace from Little Duck in Fortuna. Now that's the build that you're seeing in this footage, and you can see how effective it is at taking shields down from someone who doesn't multiple capture in one night cycle. So you guys who can do this effectively will be much better than what you're seeing me do. Now the prism I've decided to stay with is the Schwack, because it shoots a wide arc like the Arcoplasmor, which is really good for dealing with those little Vomvelists, and also because Schwack kind of sounds like you've just hit someone with a fucking fish. Not that I would condone the smacking of someone with a trout or any fish for that matter, but sound effect, you know, just a big fucking slap. Now some players prefer the Ran, which is the tier 4 prism, because it fires like a rifle and not like the Arcoplasmor, so maybe you would prefer that. Again, the prism is only really used for dealing with smaller enemies like the Vomvelists and not really for taking the shield down. Now other amp parts in the X27, like I said, the Shraksun scaffold is your main attack when hitting the Eidolon, your alternate fire. It can hit multiple times because it has punch through, and if you stand under it, of course you're going to be able to fire up through multiple limbs and burn down that shield faster. It has got a short range as well, and it will deal a kind of small amount of self damage to your Tenno, so make sure you're within the perfect range. Now it also has a 2-second delay before its ammo starts to regenerate, but it is the go-to scaffold, so it has got a few downsides, but it is the best that we have right now, and like I said, it will take the Eidolon's shield down pretty quickly. Now the new Certus tier 7 brace from Little Duck in Fortuna will increase your critical chance by 20%, which is higher than the previous go-to brace, which was the Lauren brace or Lauren brace, which would give you a 12% crit chance and a 12% status chance. And since status is useless against Eidolons, we basically used it to amplify the crit. Now the Certus brace in Fortuna gives you higher values, so it's better. Of course you can go a few steps further and amplify your damage if you're running with the Virtuous Strike Arcane on your new amp, for boosting your crit damage by 20% on a critical hit. And since you have got a high crit chance, you will be dealing a decent amount of critical hits, so you'll see your damage being boosted. You could also run with the Void Strike passive on the Midori Focus School. Void Strike will increase the damage of your next 8 shots by 12% for every second that your Tenno is stealthed. And throughout all of these Eidolon fights, you will be stealthed quite a lot. For certain attacks you need to go invisible in order to mitigate that damage, so you will increase your damage because of this. Now, some players are preferring to use the Plaga brace over the Certus brace. Again, entirely up to you. The Plaga has got a faster recharge rate on your amp's shots, so it allows for more, I guess, sustained damage over hitting harder. Entirely up to you which one you want to bring. That's the new amp meta for hunting Eidolons in Warframe. You are going to need to farm the absolute shit out of wisps on the plains of Eidolon to build the Cetus parts, as well as mining and fishing for a lot of the parts on Fortuna, so you might have your work cut out for you in order to hit the rank with Vox Solaris in order to buy the Certus brace as well. Now, while I was making this amp, the X27, I also decided to make one with all of the tier 7 parts, so a complete 777 amp made up of the Clamora prism, the proper scaffold, and the Certus brace, and it has been aptly named Big Chungus. Oh, my community, I swear to God, you guys annoy the fuck out of me sometimes. Now, the Clamora prism fires off a short range, I'm only joking, but a very wide arced void beam, so it's short range but it's got a really wide spread on it. It's good against weak minions up close, but it is terrible for the Eidolons. As you can see, you need to reload or recharge a hell of a lot with this amp because it burns through your energy that you're using in order to fire it. Its secondary fire is from the proper scaffold, which fires an explosive orb that travels 2 meters before exploding, or else it explodes on impact with something, whether an enemy or a surface, and it will deal a little bit of self damage to your Tenno but not your Warframe. So if you're using it not hunting Eidolons but using it in normal missions, you could fire this round and then jump straight back into your Warframe and not take damage. Now, I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. Again, this fire mode, the grenade, is crap for hunting Eidolons and more useful in normal missions, like I said, against really weak minions, but it's shite for Terry hunting. So basically, with the 777, don't build it. Don't build the complete 7.7 amp. Go for the best in slot, the new meta, the X27 or the 227 or the 427. Basically whatever you want as a prism once you've got that 2.7 after it. Or even, I guess, the X26 for the Plaga brace. Whichever you choose to build, let me know in the comment section below what your go-to amp is, whether you're going to even bother upgrading from the 223 to the 227. Let me know. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.